You don't need to post your relationship by Mark Insco. Interesting. So, I agree. You shouldn't post your relationship online. I in fact, agree. I, in fact, 100% agree. You shouldn't. Actually, you don't need to. You shouldn't. You actually shouldn't. Because there's people out there who would attempt stupid shit. That's all I'm gonna say. There's people out there who would attempt stupid shit. Also, please consider liking and subscribing. I appreciate it. But yeah, we're gonna jump in. We're gonna jump in. Let's see. That gets. Look at this. It gets a heart. It gets a heart. That's funny. That's funny. Love Valentine's Day. Hate that day.
Love. That thing everybody's chasing, but few are able to truly find. But indeed, what is love? What is love?
And I hate you. I hate you.
Baby, don't hurt me.
Don't hurt me. I'll stop. But with Valentine's Day coming up, you're in probably one of two.
You want some fuck? To from. I should print this one and just hand it out. I should print it and just hand it out. You want some fuck?
Camps. It's either going to be another year with the person who warms your heart, or it's going to be another year warming up that half-eaten Chipotle bowl while...
Nah. I'm not gonna do anything on Valentine's Day. I'm gonna watch romance anime and that's it. That's gonna be my Valentine's Day, watching romance anime.
you rewatch Friends for the 5th time. Do you feel seen? But on the bright side, there's no shortage of
No.
dating content, relationship advice, etc. on the internet for you to consume. Though on the not so bright side, we are constantly reminded that although the dating/relationship niche on the internet provides plenty of opportunity.
Do not! The coaches don't play bullshit is actually just bullshit, right? It really is. If a single man or a single woman is giving you relationship advice, then there is a problem. There's a very clear problem. Very, very clear problem. Because if they give advice, why they're single?
There's also a danger when you decide to turn your relationship into content. Especially if your relationship is, really fucking cringy.
This is called a love surge. And we do this when one of us has like so much love in our limbs that we can't contain it and feel like we're gonna explode. So Sean is having a love surge right now. And
I feel like it looks like he's about to have like some kind of heart attack or stroke or whatever. What is he doing? Why is he flip-flopping in the background? That's horrible.
he's gonna wrap around me and shake with the electricity of love until I catch it too and start shaking, and then you explode with a love surge.
It's a game. 911. Officer, right there. Come on in, fellas.
Which brings us to Danielle Walter, an Instagram and TikTok influencer whose entire brand is centered around dating. And she has been in the spotlight over the last few weeks because of her hard launch of her relationship. In her bio, she literally describes herself as the brunette Carrie Bradshaw of San Francisco, which is crazy for a couple reasons. One, as you will see, she is definitely not Carrie. And two, is San Francisco really known for its cosmopolitan dating scene?
I'm single and 32, and so I decided I'm gonna rent an apartment in San Francisco.
So? You change the location so you have a better chance? I mean, it might be reasonable sometimes, I guess.
Listen to me, I don't know who needs to hear this, but the love of your life is not in San Francisco. I mean, unless the partner of your dreams is like a software engineer at Meta, whose entire life's purpose is making the Instagram Reels algorithm 0.3% more addictive. But look, maybe Danielle is into guys whose entire thing is making the world a slightly worse place. So who knows? And in between regular doses of millennial cringe, which is...
Oh no. Oh no, she's a Disney adult. I know why she's single.
Accurate, I'm sorry. She posts a ton of dating content, giving her followers dating advice, and more often than not, bringing them on first and second dates with her. And I mean a lot of dates. Like, she goes on, if I went on this many dates, I would be in a coma.
I am about to get picked up for a date. I am on my way to a first date. I am on my way to a first date.
Hot take. I think she's farming the men for free meals. Pre-first date debrief. What are we doing? What are we doing? This woman is perpetually single. Order a bunch of boxed wine and cats.
I am reporting live on my way to a first date. Another first date. I am on my way to a first date. I'm really excited because he seems very
Every man knows her. Every man, from the plumber to the software engineer, everyone had her at least once. That's what I'm getting from this. This woman is a walking red flag. Because if you have this many first dates, something is wrong with you. And you deserve to be avoided at all costs.
nice.
You get the point. It's been years of this kind of perpetual dating content, getting super excited about some new guy, a couple of debriefs, and then eventually Danielle moves on to the next one. And she's carved out an extremely large platform doing this. But then something changed at the end of the summer. Danielle met, in her eyes, the one. She posted about this guy that she met at the gym. They went on a couple good dates, as she always does. But then for the first time, we got not just a first and second date TikTok, but also a third, fourth.
Progress! Wow! My brother, 18th birthday. Well, happy birthday to your brother.
And dare I say fifth date debrief.
Without a shadow of a doubt, this is my husband.
Well, that's that, folks. I mean, a couple years in, millions of followers later, and on date number 5, she's found the one. Let's wrap it up. And at this point, by the way, people are very supportive. There's not a lot of hate or concern, which is coming, trust me. But not yet. At this stage, people are just genuinely happy for Danielle. But slowly, the cracks start to shine through.
Okay, I'm so nervous.
Yes.
Bringing him home to meet my dad and bonus mom. So we got a middle-aged Disney adult woman who has lots and lots of first dates with with mommy issues or daddy issues. It's one or the two. It's one or the two.
Okay, I am bringing him home to meet my dad and my bonus mom. This is like the moment where I bring my future husband home.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Again, at this point, they've been on 5 dates, which is like one every 6 days. And now he's meeting the parents.
5 dates. And he's practically the father's a bonus mom, stepmama. Basically, how about both? Yeah, it could be both mommy and daddy issues. Okay, let me clarify this. You bring him home to your parents after the 5th date. That's highly interesting.
Which, look, again, maybe that's the case, okay? But this is not happening in a vacuum. Danielle is a dating influencer who has given out millions of pieces of dating advice before, all of which she is breaking at this point.
You need to know that it takes months to actually get to know someone.
Just dump your head into a bunch of why this much makeup? I'm gonna say this. A lot of makeup is just turn off. I'm gonna say this. Like, there's like photoshopping, basically. It's just advanced photoshopping.
No decisions should be made within the first few months, you know what I'm saying?
Agreed. No big decisions should be made within the first couple of months. I guess bringing him home to meet your parents and saying you're gonna get married is not a big decision. Also, they're not even like officially dating at this point. They're just going on dates. As in, a week after he meets her parents is when he officially asks her to be his.
The week after? Oh, this is my future husband, and they're not even official. Bad and had mommy issues. I would be dating older women, not doing whatever she is. Not that I do, though. I have a very loving family. It appears that she might not. As long as it looks natural, it's fine. Even if it looks natural, I don't like it. Stop plastering your face with stuff that's not your face. Like, if you do a little bit, okay, right? Like, just a tiny bit. Okay. But don't look like you just rammed your head into freshly put on cement.
His girlfriend.
I think he's gonna ask me to be his girlfriend today. Let me show you my dress. Because before, I told him we have to wait 3 months.
Is this not? This is borderline almost. Her I'm gonna say it. Her tits are about to fall out. It scares me. Not on my stream. We're not NSFW.
But he's so great. So then I said, we can wait 2 months, then you can ask me. And I said I wanted to be special. So I think he's taking me back to where we had our first date.
He's taking you back to the place where you had your first date to ask you to be his girlfriend. Again, the first date that was 6 weeks ago. I'm trying not to be too much of an obnoxious asshole here, but this is the part where people start to be like, okay, what are we talking about here? It's at this point that the comment section start to turn on her. Calling him future husband to his face when you've only known him for a month is a lot, girl. You are putting so much power to hurt you in his hands so early. Can't name it, but something's off. It's giving crazy obsessive. And there's a lot of people too who are like, Danielle, we're happy for you. Don't look.
Well, here's the thing. I like crazy. Yeah, I like crazy. Obsessive women? Yeah. Yeah. Well, actually, I think I would just date all the women anyways. There has been a trend of younger guys dating millennial women because they don't like Gen Z women. The more you know. I wonder what's different.
Listen to all these jealous single bitches in the comment section. Okay, maybe that's the case. Maybe that's the case. But it is clear that at this point there's a schism, okay, in the Walter fandom, okay? Whatever they call themselves. Let's go with Walter heads. To some Walter heads, this is getting out of control. From their perspective, this lady has been telling them how they need to date for years, has taken them through probably dozens of failed talking stages, and is now like 5 dates in and thinks she's set for life. Something is not adding up. Something is feeling concerning. And at a bare minimum, something is starting to feel a little cringe about this whole too good to be true whirlwind romance. I mean, at the end of the day, Danielle is 32 years old and appears to be tossing out all of her dating rules and substituting them with middle school dating rules in front of your eyes. And unfortunately, a select few Walter heads decided to take things too far and ended up finding out who this guy is, mainly through the information that she shared about him, which was a decent amount, and also the fact that she put engagement rings on her Pinterest board that was named after him. Engagement ring shopping on month 2. But in any event, things were
Well, that's rough, buddy. Not on month 2.
clearly getting overwhelming, so Danielle stopped posting about her relationship, obviously realizing that it was something that was better kept private and that she didn't need, to post or make content about it or to seek the validation of millions of strangers about her relationship, when really it's just about the person that she loves. That's the thing that matters most. And that's it.
Danielle and her partner went on to marry in a private ceremony. She has since changed her online presence to be exclusively Labubu unboxings. Wait, that can't be real. That can't be real.
Just f***ing with you. After taking 3 months off and teasing a huge project that she was working on, a big budget, really important production that she was going to put out, Danielle dropped this bizarre 21-part dating series. Excuse me, docu-series is what she calls it, where she sits on a park bench and interviews the finally unmasked gentleman. And his name is Brazilian Jesus. Okay, his name is Lucas.
Brazilian Jesus. Well, he doesn't look too horrible.
But I'm going with Brazilian Jesus. And again, docuseries is an incredibly generous description of what this is, which is 45 minutes worth of some of the most boring TikToks you've ever watched in your life, about a couple that has the chemistry and spice of 2 slices of Wonder Bread, white Wonder Bread, to be sure. And to say that this series has gone over poorly would be the understatement of the year. People have issues, man. They have issues with this. For one, there's absolutely a weird sense of superiority that comes across in these TikToks, starting with the fact that she even thought it was necessary to do this. Like, hello, spotlight effect, as if the whole world was waiting on the
Main character syndrome. That's what he's describing here practically. Main character syndrome. Suddenly, after countless dates, she found the one in like 2 months, and they're like dating for 2 months, and she's gonna marry him and like bear 100 children, and like I don't know, it's just crazy.
edge of their seats to get this hard launch about a 3-month-long relationship. Look, I know nobody's gonna believe this because of the way I come across, but genuinely, I do want people to be happy. Part of my brain here is like, yeah, this is so sweet.
I don't. If I'm miserable, so has to be everyone else. On Valentine's Day, I will be throwing rocks at couples in Minecraft. Obviously. I'm obviously just joking.
And then the other part of my brain is like, this is really unhinged and cringe. It's uncringed is what it is. I mean, just the titles of each part of these. How we knew, how he asked, how he feels. I have steaks in my freezer that are older than this relationship. And of course, there's not even really that much information in this 21-part series. Every episode is more...
I've probably pizza that's older. Probably. Yeah, to be honest, I would never do the whole main character syndrome thing. I would be a lame ass main character. You gotta be the main character in your life, but you can't be the main character in other people's lives.
Or less Danielle just explaining some completely uninteresting aspect of their relationship while he just nods along. Which, like, this is supposed to be a series where she introduces her boyfriend, and for most of it she does the talking and he just sits there going like, yeah babe, I like what you like and I feel what you feel.
So every month on our month anniversary, some people are gonna be so upset about this, but every month on our month anniversary, Lucas plans something for us.
Month anniversary. Obliterate. She already gets the McDonald's hairline. It's already happening. Obliterate. Fucking obliterate.
Without me saying anything. I don't ask at all. He tells me.
Every month on your month anniversary, he plans a date. So what is that, 3 dates so far? And as again, you would need to get a body language expert in here, but like she's just saying stuff and he's nodding, but you can tell that he's not like necessarily down. Like listen to her talk about a time that they went kayaking.
And you know what I say is it was very smart, because what better premarital test than putting two people in a kayak and seeing how that goes.
Yeah.
Like look at his face when she says premarital. He's like, yeah, marriage? Yeah. I'll think about it. Episode 19 is on conflict resolution styles, which how is there conflict on week 12 of a relationship?
You've been putting like, hey, let's fight for us. And this is so important.
You've known each other for 5 minutes. What is there to fight for? Hey babe, you know earlier today when you said you wanted to go to Taco Bell, but I wanted to go to Chick-fil-A? Just so you know, I would usually break up.
Was that just a pink taco? Was it? Crazy work. You don't know each other enough. You do not know each other enough.
Up with someone who suggests I eat a chalupa, but because it's you, I'm willing to work through this.
Like, I'm totally able to sacrifice, like, small sacrifices, big sacrifices.
Just, yeah, things like not picking up and going surfing whenever you want to anymore is like, and not because I'm making you.
Why can't he go surfing? I don't understand this part. How is it that you're not even living together? By your own admission, you see each other like once or twice a week.
You are telling me he can go surfing whenever he wants, but they're not living together. It's not like him going surfing has any influence on the current living circumstances. Like, if you have something planned, okay, right? He can just go, like, fuck it, right? Surfing. Like, that makes sense, right? But that's reasonable. But, like, yeah, you're definitely telling him to not go surfing. 100% month anniversary. Yeah, just nuke the planet. Bonus if it's aliens and they're 10 feet muscle mommies. I get the idea. You'd give backshots to Navi, wouldn't you? Tall, blue alien women.
How is not surfing a sacrifice he has to make now for this relationship? And the way this series ends is absolutely the icing on the cake.
To the single girl out there that's been watching and waiting for their person, our love story is for you. I started posting dating content as you years ago, and I never want to forget you. I want to encourage you.
Yeah, it's God's gift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything makes sense now.
Ooh, brother. Actually, to the single girl out there, or single boy, or single whoever, take this as a lesson. There is actually something worse in life than being single. You could be strapped to a park bench for a 21-part cringe-a-thon with Brazilian Jesus, while a person who's been in a relationship for less time than it takes to age a roll of Parmesan cheese tells you that one day your knight in shining armor will come. Or maybe finding a partner is actually not going to be your greatest accomplishment in life, and your partner will never be the most interesting thing about you. Something that Danielle herself would have told you before she met this guy.
If the most exciting thing in your life is what happens with him, there's more we need to work on than just the situation with him.
She became the thing she swore to destroy. God, I almost choked here. Water. That's very funny. That means basically she just became like her entire life, right, is like being a girlfriend, and that's it now.
The call is coming from inside the house. And look, a lot of people have gone way overboard in Danielle's community just digging up random stuff about this guy, some of which feels mean-spirited or irrelevant, like the fact that he used to drive for Instacart. He's from Brazil, he's a personal trainer and a life coach, which I agree life coach is a red flag. But I mean still, the people who are saying, oh, he's just in this for the money or for a green card, it's like, you just don't know that. You don't have enough information to make that call. There's no reason to be that much of an asshole when there's plenty of other things that you can make fun of in this situation. Because it's pretty clear from this guy's social media presence that he's one of those dudes that's been trying to get famous for like a while. I don't know how else to frame it. This is a guy who likes looking at himself. And there's nothing wrong with that, but it makes sense why there's a lot of Walter heads who would feel like maybe his intentions are not the purest. Especially when she never lets him talk for himself, and when he does speak, he comes across like a cult leader who just found his first acolyte.
I spent 5 years single, and now I'm in a relationship, and I'm just having to buy flowers to my princess.
Okay. You spent 5 years seeing her? So you were a viewer before, and this reminds me, you know what that reminds me of in a way? You know what that reminds me of? Like that gold digger back then. Like that Liz lady? Same energy. The guy had the same energy, kind of. Weird.
And one of the greatest reward I have, it's her femininity. And flowers are the seed for this to just blossom. So brothers, we give flowers because we are intelligent. We are cultivating her femininity.
Yeah, I'm taking notes, brother Lucas. Brazilian Jesus putting out free game for all of us. Like, why can't it just be, hey man, you should buy your girlfriend flowers. Girls like flowers. Instead, you have to go full, you have to plant the seeds of her femininity into the...
Unless she's a nerd, then you should get a sword. Nerdy girls love swords, because nerdy guys love swords. Anyways, I don't know if I would trust Brazilian Jesus with a baguette that I bought in bought and placed in my home. I literally have no idea why that specifically. It's just like, he reminds me of the dude that dated that Liz lady. Like that, was it Wizard Liz? Something like that. He reminds me of the dude that dated her. Kind of.
Bosom of that was ordained by God when you give her the Trader Joe's flower bouquet that puts her in her feminine energy. What are you talking about? Credit where credit's due, though. I mean, he adjusted very quickly to his girlfriend's content strategy of giving out relationship advice when you yourself have been single for like 5 years. And of course, there's definitely the religious aspect of this that some people are taking issue with. These two, but definitely Danielle, really referencing God over and over again as like the reason this relationship came together, and like finding a partner who wants like the same kind of traditional gender roles that she does, which again is great. I'm glad you find somebody who wants what you want in a relationship. That's the ideal situation. But is it really a great idea to be like, God put this relationship together? On month 3, like again, doesn't that just put way too much pressure into having to make things work? Not even giving yourself the option to change your mind? And what kind of message does that send to your followers? After years of like, these are the exact rules you have to follow to get your man. Now it's like there's no rules whatsoever. Actually, just God is going to give you the Brazilian life coach of your dreams. Move to San Francisco and seek God is basically the only final 2 pieces of dating advice she has. In any event, this week, Danielle dropped a 15-minute long TikTok reflecting on the docuseries, which
15 minutes of relationship advice slop. 15 fucking minutes? Who sits there and watches this? Like, are there like women laying on their bed and like kicking their feet and like giggling? If I continue watching her, I'm gonna find my husband. What are we doing?
I guess is growth in the sense that at least it is a 15-minute long TikTok and not a 15-part docuseries of 1-minute long TikToks. And for her part, she admits that her 21-part series was a misfire, but also that she's getting her bag.
The series in 21 parts only on Instagram is at 39 million, okay? And only 6 out of the 21 videos are under 1 million views. Now, was the heart behind this to get views? No. But this is an objective of this role. So I'm just talking like success to failure. Technically, this is performing.
Well, I mean, you gotta respect that, I guess. And she also generally acknowledged that the whole thing was cringy, that was not her intention, and that also, yes, she is breaking all her own rules.
And I would like to say to all of the creators who are doing really, really well commentating on the docuseries. You're welcome for the content.
Well, thank you for making the content, Danielle, and just
Sometimes I agree with Mark here. You have to farm the idiots. It's just free content. Single women over the age of 30, I would assume. Probably. Yeah, that's probably the target audience here.
know from the bottom of my heart, you don't have to do it again. Okay, you don't. And that's really what this is about. The intentions here were clearly good. Danielle is clearly a good person, but the vibes were off. And there's always going to be this inherent risk of criticism when you bring your relationship online to be judged by millions of people. Something I think about often in my nightmares is like those TikTok couple.
And yet it's not the worst I've seen. Right? We watched a video about essentially two Chinese like couples turning their relationship into content, right? They're basically like, well, technically the same man, but two different women, I guess, throughout this entire thing. Like, right? Streaming their engagement, streaming their wedding, doing like content on their like dates, relationship. You get the idea. Miserable experience. So technically this is still pretty tame.
Accounts, just page after page of couples making content together, usually comedic stuff, and while it's not for me, there's definitely a market for this. Arwen and Clara, Caleb and Andrea, Megan and Jack, and on and on and on. And it feels like to me the reason why this stuff works is because it's not couples content per se, it's couples making content together. Like, yes, all the themes are fundamentally about dating, but also they're in it together. Like, yes, all the themes are fundamentally about dating, but they're in it together. They're just a couple that likes making things.
There's like a difference, right? These two are essentially like also doing it for money, right? And also like, right? They're not just doing it for the love of the game, right? But they're also like, he wasn't particularly into it. We've seen that from the series. We are the content, basically. And for those, it's different, right? They're like into this, like they want to do it. And he at first, he sat there and was like, yes, I agree, honey. Yeah, that's how it is. You get the idea.
Together, or is funny together, or maybe they just like making money. I don't know. I'm not in their heads. But what gets people angry is when it's a creator or influencer who was not in a relationship when they were making content and now makes their entire page about their relationship, or when couples try to make content that's real even though it's clearly fake. Like when Danielle and Brazilian Jesus are slow dancing in the kitchen while their salmon burns. Like, we know you had to set up the phone and ring light for this. Why are we even pretending that this is spur of the moment? For God's sake, somebody think of the salmon. And sometimes some of this realistic content is straight up uncomfortable.
I don't like salmon particularly, so yeah, the salmon could get fucked.
Let's plate up dinner.
Oh no. Horrible.
Distracting me. We're having a jacket potato.
I feel like a predator watching this dude. Like, get off my For You page. I genuinely feel like it's a feature of influencer fatigue, where people are just tired of seeing brand trips and like new influencer apartments and cars and clothes. And they're also tired of getting force-fed new influencer relationships. Because authenticity and relatability are the currency in the culture right now. And there is something deeply inauthentic about turning your relationship into content for views. So going back to the Walter cinematic universe, I don't think it's jealousy. I don't think it's about the cringe or about how forced this feels. I just think we're at a saturation point where everything in life has been contentified, and a bizarrely self-gratifying 21-part series like this would—
Well, at least nobody's— Never mind, actually, there's people giving birth on stream. Never mind, I take it back. I don't really care what some people do, but I don't want to see it, pretty much. I can't even say, yo, we haven't streamed the birth yet, but we have. On Twitch. Somebody yanked out the baby. On Twitch, so at this... I can't even argue.
was never going to go over well, even if the relationship itself people liked. And frankly, the advice to never bring your relationship to the internet is valid for everybody, not just content creators. Misery loves company, and I'm not even close to suggesting that there aren't absolutely deranged people in Danielle's comment section, or on other couples pages, or on r/relationship advice, which is a cesspool. Seriously, ask Reddit any question about your relationship. The answer is always to break up. Oh, he left a sock on the floor? He hates—
Yeah, but Reddit is also like a circle of hell, so at this point, yeah. I mean, you can get banned on Reddit which is like funny, right? You can get banned on Reddit by like the fat overweight Reddit mods if you like play a game, even if you just like, right? I think recently with Zenless Zone Zero, they essentially started banning people who basically like the content of the game that the game itself is making, because they themselves don't agree with what the game is making. It's really interesting.
Hates you, break up. Oh, she's allergic to peanut butter? She hates nuts. She's a nutphobe. Break up with her. I still remember the orange peel trend on TikTok too, where basically you ask your boyfriend for an orange, and if he peels it for you, then he passes, and if he gives you an unpeeled orange, he fucking hates you. And this trend has come up a million times in a million different forms. There's the ketchup theory. There's 1,000 different ways that TikTok comes up with for you to judge your relationship in the public square. But what if every relationship is different? And as a matter of fact, there are other ways that you can communicate with the person in your life. Like with words that doesn't require innocent ketchup to be wasted like a serial killer. We're just doing too much nowadays. For the love of God, 2026, can we just all agree? We're not going to broadcast our own relationships on social media, and we're not going to consume too much of other people's relationships on social media. And I don't mean just like pictures. I mean, a 21-part series. Once you start to get, above 10 parts, if you're at part 13, that's when you know you've gone too far. And for anybody out there still looking for love, I'm sure you're going to find it. I don't have any advice.
No.
For you, because I'm very single, but I'm sure you're gonna find it. Unless, of course, what you're looking for is Brazilian Jesus. In that case, he's taken.
Yeah, nah, bro, we're cooked. We're definitely cooked. Mr. Insco, you're wrong. We're cooked. Well, I'm cooked. Anyways, that was interesting. Yeah, I agree, 100%. Do not drag your own relationship online, because first of all, you get the idea of like too many like cooks ruining a dish. That's like the thing. You get too many people commenting on your relationship. It just takes one retard to place basically just a seed in your head, and then it's just the relationship goes down the drain because, well, you overthink it. You let other people influence it. It's over. It's really that simple. It is really that simple. Don't. Just don't. Just don't. Anyways, like, comment, and subscribe.